that's football. It's Real Madrid versus PSG in the Champions League. It's a good one. It's a good one, and I tell you why it's a good one as well, because this sort of game is one we can cast our eye across, but also get into some good chats. So I'm all for that. So I hope you're all doing very well. Please do smash a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're going to try and get 105,000 subscribers tonight as well, which would be nice. The sad news is, and don't worry, nobody's passed away, but the sad news is that Neymar's not even bloody playing. He's dropped him, which is, to me, disappointing. In the context of the group, PSG have got 12 points and Real Madrid have got 7. So PSG are going to probably finish top of this group. But it's a statement. It's a statement. So this game tonight could quite simply be a knockout game of the Champions League. It's not. I repeat, it's not, but it could be. Courtois in goal. Carvajal, Varane, Ramos and Marcelo. The best back five for Real Madrid. Valverde, Casemiro and Cruz as the midfield. And Isco, Benzema and Hazard as the front three. Bale is on the bench. As is Modric, Militao, Jovic and Mendy and Rodrigo. For PSG, we've got Navas, Meunier, Thiago Silva, Kimpembe, Bernat, Idrissa Gueye, Marquinhos, Verratti, Di Maria, Icardi and Mbappe. So a very, very good team still. Ander Herrera's not there as well. Don't know what the situation is with him. Maybe somebody in the live comments knows. But Neymar is on the bench, as is Cavani, as is Sarabia, very good player. Draxler, very good team. Very good, very, very good team for PSG. I've got to say that. Otherwise, I'm contractually obliged, but it is a very good team. It's about to kick off. Let me just put a tweet out. Please do share it on through the share button underneath. Give us your score predictions. We'll be talking about those in a moment. I've just realised I've forgotten to do the timer. I'll get into trouble off the time police, but I've tweeted it out. We're 15 seconds in. I tell you what, I actually think PSG will win. I know, I do. I think they're going to win. And the reason I think they're going to win is because I think they've got a very good team, PSG, and I think Real Madrid are struggling. I mean, Hazard hasn't really hit the heights of those that he had in the Premier League, and I think that they just have never really recovered from the loss of Ronaldo, have they? And they still seem to be struggling with that. But you know, here are PSG on the attack at the moment. There's the timer, which is good, and they're a little bit ragged here at the moment. Shot comes in, blocked, and Ramos brings it away. So let's have a look at the live comments and have a look at how everybody's doing. I also just want to have a quick look at something with regards to La Liga. Spanish La Liga at the moment. Real Madrid are currently second to, well, the joint top, effectively, 28 points with Barcelona. But both teams, I mean, Barcelona have already lost 3 games this season. Real Madrid have only lost once in La Liga, but they've drawn 4. So it is interesting. It's rather interesting, so to speak. Timer is already up. To Madrid to win 2-1, says Eamon Faith. My score prediction, I'm going to go PSG to win 3-1. I know, controversial, some would say, but I think PSG have got a very, very good team. I mean, you look at what's on the bench. Sarabia is a very good player. Neymar's on the bench. Cavani. Here's Mbappe. I mean, they're breaking away lovely here. I just think they're a much better team. Icardi was nearly in there. They've started off really well, PSG, and there was a foul off the ball on Mbappe. I mean, he does look very, very good. I mean, what I would say about Mbappe is don't let Neymar turn you into a diving little cheat. I mean, there's a bit of an arm tug there from Ramos, and there's nothing in it. And he turns away like he's like, well, give me a foul, give me a foul. I hate self-righteous players like that. That was a bit of physicality. Deal with it. Hashtag. But crass chance for PSG to put the cross into the box here. Good evening, says Tanson. I like your haircut, says Harun Ramoon. Yeah, I quite like it as well. It's a layered sort of shave. Di Maria against his old club as well. But I just don't think I mean, look at Real Madrid when they won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. You've basically got Benzema, Ronaldo, Bale. Look at Real Madrid now. You've got Hazard, Benzema, Isco. It's a regression. They haven't spent enough money, Real Madrid, on that front three. And I think they're weaker for it. And they've got a corner here, Real Madrid. Hi to Mark and all the mods, says Kunal. You were great in the kickoff on Saturday, says Ataro Venegas. Thank you. It's always difficult to know how you come across. I do like doing the kickoff. I've got a lot of time for everybody who does that. Brian and Lars and Rory and Hugh. But when there's 5 of you, it's very different to the way we do our watch-alongs. And I do enjoy it. Headed over the bar there from Ramos. I do enjoy it, but I love doing this with you lot. So please do subscribe if you love. If you want to get involved, everybody is welcome here. I just want to see if we've got a target to go for tonight, subscriber-wise. I know it says 104 above me, but we might be close to 105 because it only changes every 1,000 subscribers. So we're on 104,500. So please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. We'll see if we can get to 105,000 tonight. Please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. And if you have subscribed, just click the share button and you can share it on Twitter and Facebook. Louise Ball says that Di Maria is a snake. An early heads up as well. Before I say this, let me just make sure I get this right. I'll say a early heads up. With regards to tomorrow night's Champions League games, we are going to do one. And it will be, let's have a look, Wednesday the 27th of November. 3 days to put your Christmas tree up. It's going to be tomorrow night. Liverpool and Napoli is at 8 o'clock. Barcelona Dortmund is at 8 o'clock. We're going to do Valencia versus Chelsea at 5 to 6. I think that's a very interesting game. That group is really interesting. Chelsea, Valencia and Ajax all on 7 points. So that's a very interesting game, Valencia against Chelsea tomorrow night. I will be watching it and we'll be doing it on here as a watch along at 6 o'clock. So join us for that one. Mashru Iram says United should have bought Sarabia, only 25 million, right winger and hard working. I've got Sarabia on my FIFA Ultimate Team actually. I play him as a centre attacking midfielder. He's not particularly quick, but he's got. He reminds me a bit of a sort of a James Maddison sort of player, to be honest. I mean, not identically, but that sort of a player. He is good. Tottenham are losing 1-0, says Louis Roberts and Haroon Raymond. Brexit means Brexit. Somebody just said, "What's your thoughts on the election?" I don't want to go political because I know everyone's got their own opinions and I respect them. I respect your football opinions, so I'm going to respect your political opinions. But I just find it really wrong when you get somebody like, well, let's be honest, Stormzy, telling people who he's voting for and why. It's basically brainwashing people. Let people make their own bloody opinions up. Celebrities basically getting people to vote now. That's what we've become. I mean, I hated the X Factor generation. It ruined pop music. And now we've got celebrities ruining fucking politics. Like, if you want to vote in an election, please do register. But do your research. Don't do it on whatever celebrity tells you what to do. Make your own bloody mind up. Because I tell you what, some of these choices, you might think, well, Stormzy said to vote this one. But you're the one who's going to end up paying the bloody taxes and stuff. And ultimately, all I keep saying about this is, however you want to vote, this is a Brexit election. If you don't want Brexit, vote Lib Dem or Labour. If you want Brexit, vote Tory or the Brexit Party. It's as simple as that. And I'm not telling you how I'm going to go because that would be wrong and I'm not going to do that. But if you are voting, do some bloody research. Don't listen to Twitter people. And for me, it's a Brexit election. And I do it on purpose on watch-alongs because when I spoke about Brexit at the weekend, we got 2 goals. Anyway, if you don't say Labour, you get called a boomer, says Murray. Yeah, but look, I'm not getting into all that. At the end of the day, it's the Brexit election, and I think that's what you should vote on. You never do a Barcelona watch-along, says Anoop James. I've done loads. Just search watch-along on this channel. We've done loads of Barcelona watch-alongs. Mbappe looks like a great player, Elias Bloom. I do want to bring some off-football topics into the watch-along as well. You know, favourite flavours of crisps, how you're voting in the election, whatever. we're quite diverse on here. Messi, Ronaldo or Neymar, says Jacob Tarrant. Well, you've put somebody in there who shouldn't be in there. Neymar should not be in that equation. He's good, but he ain't Messi or Ronaldo. And let's not forget, I think Neymar's 27 now, so he's a good player, but look at what Ronaldo and Messi had done at 27. He's just not on that level. But here's Mbappe with space to turn and run from the halfway line. I like Mbappe, and I think as he grows bigger, he's going to be more of a Ronaldo type player than a Messi. Good cross coming in there. Another of my favourite players there, Icardi. I mean, why? Icardi's got a very similar haircut to me. He actually uses my barber. He tweeted me a few weeks ago and said, "Where do you get your haircut?" I said, "I only pay about 15 quid in Solihull." He says, I'm coming over. So, same haircut. But I like Icardi. I do like Icardi. And I know it's easy to say, well, United should have gone for Icardi, but I don't think he wanted to come to United. So, but I do like Icardi. I've always liked him. And but it makes me laugh when people were saying, United fans were saying, "Oh, we don't want another troublemaker." Oh God! Like, look at what happened with Giggs and his brother. Look at Cantona, what he did. Would you have stopped those players wearing a United shirt? Of course you wouldn't, because it's what they do on the bloody pitch that matters. Icardi is an absolute animal of a player, and he's fantastic. I would have took him every single day. Favourite cheese, says Louis. I'm a seasonal with food and drink, and this time of the year I quite like Wensleydale with a bit of cranberry in it. So you've just reminded me of that. I need to get that on the Tesco order for Christmas. Crabbies, alcoholic ginger beer at Christmas. Absolutely love it as well. J. David, Mark, are you Ollie in again then? You know what? I embrace this social media nonsense that I'm a flip-flop. I've been doing this for 5 years and I don't flip-flop on anything. I change my mind on things, but not like a flip-flop does. And how can you flip-flop on Ollie when you've never been Ollie out? I don't know how you can. 1-0 to Olympiacos. Yes, they're beating Spurs at the moment. This is why I've said this. United will not lose to Spurs. Mandzukic rumours are dying down, says Ataro Vinagas. It's the calm before the storm. He'll be coming. I quite like Icardi as well, mate. Agreed. Her husband, Maro, is decent striker too, says Humi. And do you like Bournemouth, says Jacob Tarrant. Let me put it this way. Bournemouth, Brighton, Burnley, two of you've got to go. Like, you're the same thing, basically. You don't play the same football, but you're the same thing. You all begin with B. You've all got small football grounds, and there's bigger clubs that could come in and make the Premier League more interesting, i.e. Sheffield Wednesday, Leeds, Forest. There's more in the Championship as well. Even West Brom. They just don't make it. Bournemouth, Brighton and Burnley, they're just a bit dull. So out of those three, if Bournemouth had a bigger ground, I'd probably say I like Bournemouth the best. Lovely little ball in behind here to Mbappe. Is he going to put the cross in? Oh, it's just a little bit high for Icardi, who heads it over the bar. But PSG's front three of Mbappe, Icardi and Di Maria is so more exciting and free and fast than Hazard, Benzema and Isco, which just seems a little bit static. And the amazing thing is, most teams would give their left nut or boob, let's bring the women in, to have a front three of Mbappe, Icardi and Di Maria. And they've got Neymar and bloody Cavani sat on the bench. The quality is just unbelievable. And John Ween, I'm just going to educate everybody here because this makes me laugh. Why do so many people spell Nottingham Forest with 2 R's in Forest? I mean, are you just uneducated? Like, since when has a forest been spelt with 2 R's? It's Forest. The amount of people who spell it Forest. It's not a club that was set up as a tribute act to Craig Forrest, the former Ipswich goalkeeper. It's Nottingham Forest, Sherwood Forest, Robin Hood Forest, Forest. Why the fuck do people put 2 R's in it? I just don't get why you'd spell Forest with 2 R's in it. There you go. I'd like Swansea to come back up, says General Martin. Yeah. No, Neymar is not injured, James Miller. He's on the bench. He's on the bench. Thoughts on Tesco Cafe, says SG. It's no Costa. It's no Costa. I don't think Hazard has been very good in the shirt, has he, at all? Would I? Well, there we go. Very good question there from Cody Ricardo, who says, would you take Hazard at United if he was available? You'd be an idiot to say no, but that's only because we don't really have, he could definitely get into our team, but he ain't playing well. To me, and I think he's admitted it, I mean, he's wearing white. He just looks a little bit overweight to me. But he never did at Chelsea. I don't know what that's all about, but, he's still a decent player, but... And, Hazard's a weird one. There were so many people living up his backside, and I used to love winding them up. But Kroos with a lovely shot there. Very, very good. Very good shot, just over the bar. I used to wind up a lot of the Hazard Easters by saying, he's, Salah's better than him, such and such is better than him. And there's no, a lot of it was winding up. But I never agreed that Hazard was one of the top 5 players in the world. And he's sort of proven me right, because he's very good in the Premier League. He's a very good player, but I just don't think he does enough to be in that top 5. I really don't, in the world. Talking about top 5 in the world, you got Neymar, you got Ronaldo, you got Messi. For me, at the moment, Van Dijk's got to be in there, even though he's a defender. So that's 4 slots. So that's everyone. You got Van Dijk, Neymar, Ronaldo, Messi, and then fight amongst yourself for the 5th one. But it ain't Hazard. It isn't. You could say De Bruyne, you could say Mane, from the Premier League. I mean, but definitely not Hazard. Shabahat says, Mark, you are not a flip-flop, but you definitely like sitting on the fence. I'll tell you what, that's one of the most insulting things anyone's ever said to me. And I've been called an Everton fan. I do not sit on the fence. I don't sit on the fence. What I do is, I don't flip-flop, which is why people say I do, because everybody wants to say, everyone wants me to say I'm Ollie out. Everyone says, you really are Ollie out, you're just sitting on the fence. I've got no reason. Good cross, Marcelo gets it away. I've got no reason to. Like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years. I was Van Gaal out very early. I was a little bit late on Mourinho. And with Ollie, I'm not ready to be Ollie out yet. But I'm very unhappy with him. But I'm not Ollie out yet. When I am at Ollie out, you'll bloody know about it. And it'll be before he's sacked. Good cross. This should be 1-0. Post. Goal. Real Madrid. 1-0. There we go. Well, that's a good goal. And it's sort of not against the run of play, but it's I want to know what happens here. It's a lovely run down the right hand side. Somebody shoots, hits the post. It bounces back to Benzema, and he scores. So let's watch this back again. Doesn't score that many goals, Benzema, but Real Madrid are really happy. And whatever you think about this, 12 points for PSG, 7 for Real Madrid. They'll both qualify from the group, and PSG will probably still be top, even if they lose to Real Madrid. But neither team is given any quarter. And it was good play by Hazard in the build-up. Halfway line, he's got it. He plays it out wide. There's going to be an overlap here for Carvajal, I think. And he does use him. Carvajal puts the cross in. Shot by Isco, hits the post, and there's Benzema to make it 1-0 to Real Madrid. Real Madrid are 1-0 up. Oh, I've got to change the score now. I miss the days of Ian Wone, Steve Stone, Shettle, Gemmell, Van Hooijdonk, Des Little, and the ultimate Chris Bart-Williams. Decent team in the 90s, says Humi. I remember Chris Bart-Williams at Sheffield Wednesday, and the reason I remember Chris Bart-Williams is I remember watching, this is how old I am, it was like an England under-18s World Cup, and I don't think they won it, but they did quite well, and Bart-Williams was playing for England, so there you go. That's how old I am. People will be Googling that now. They won't. But well, there might be somebody. But I'm going to change the score. So it's 1-0 to Real Madrid. An early goal, always good. And I think it doesn't matter who scores first in this game. Both teams are going to keep at it. But 20 minutes gone. Early goal. Good to see. Keeps us on our toes. Keeps it interesting. And Hazard's actually doing quite well at the moment. Good tackle there by Meunier. Teammates of nationality purposes. They're both from Belgium. Real Madrid. Yeah, but I think that I don't think that PSG will win the Champions League, because as much as they've got a very good team and they've got a lot of depth, I mean, I don't know where Herrera is today. Idrissa Gueye a good player. They've got a good team, but the thing that always holds me back about PSG, and I wouldn't be opposed to them winning the Champions League now. I was a couple of times, but I think that they've been around a while now, haven't they? So I used to detest the idea of them winning the Champions League because of how much money they spend. But I don't think that they can win the Champions League, because when it gets to like February, March in the knockout stages, they just don't have that competitive league. Spurs are 2-0 down to Olympiacos as well. We're going to have to take a look at that one in a moment. But yeah, they don't play in a competitive league in France. And I think Bayern Munich normally struggle with it as well. So, the Spanish clubs, the Italian clubs, the English clubs, they're used to the grind in February and March, and they're getting competitive games. So they're focused for every game. Whereas I think for Paris, they've normally won the title by Christmas. So they've just got to get themselves up for the Champions League, and I think they go a little bit stale. I really do. David JS says they've got no spine, which is a nicer way of saying it. Let's have a look at the latest score then, because it is currently 2-0 to Olympiacos at Tottenham, which I thought they were away. My mistake. So, interestingly, the lineups for Spurs, it's not a bad team. He's gone with Aurier, Sanchez, Alderweireld and Rose, Winks, Dyer and Ali, and Mora, Son and Kane. So it's the same team that he picked against West Ham. It's his first team, effectively. And this is a worry for Spurs, because on the bench he's got Ryan Sessegnon, Eriksson, Ndombele is back, Lo Celso, Sissoko. But that is basically the same team as he picked against Benzema. Oh, no. That's the team that he picked against West Ham, apart from Ben Davies, who's injured. So Danny Rose has come in, and yet they're 2-0 down to Olympiacos. I mean, that's shocking. That's shocking, really, because it's in Greece. It's not in Greece. It's in London, and they're losing 2-0. Jose out already trending. Must be Arsenal fans, says David Jess. Well, Lampard out was trending when we beat them 4-0. I think these things are a little bit banter, but I think from Spurs' point of view as well. Let me just have a little look at this as well. This is the interesting thing. If Olympiacos were to win, they would be level with Spurs on points, and Spurs' last game is Bayern Munich. So Spurs will be in the Europa League if they don't get a result against Olympiacos. Simple as that, because Spurs aren't going to go to Munich and get a win, and Olympiacos will beat Red Star. So it's looking interesting for the Spurs game, isn't it? Looking very interesting for that game. In fact, we'll keep an eye on that, because second half it might be worth flipping over and doing that as the watch along. But I think they'll probably come back, to be honest with you. Why is Phil Mitchell dead? Says Maddy says thoughts on Phil Mitchell and his legacy, Mark. I'll never forgive him for not getting Steve Owen out the car. Spurs are bottling it again, says Abdul. And would you take Eriksson, says Gary Smith? No. Nor for me. Not for me. Mark is not a flip-flop. He's a closet Ollie outer, says Luke Haynes. I'm not. I genuinely not. I'm not, because to be Ollie out, you've got to have a solution in life, and I don't have a solution at the moment. apart from sacking Woodward and the Glazers, and that's not going to happen. So you get stuck in this position where you're like, yeah, Ollie's not good. Ollie's probably not good enough, but I don't think any manager's going to change it anyway. And Real Madrid are doing well at the moment. So they seem to be bossing this game a little bit more now. Now Mourinho will regret joining Spurs instead of joining Arsenal. London is red, says Zayn Miassi. Evening, Zayn. And Humi says, who do you see taking over the mantle from Messi and Ronaldo over the next 3 to 4 years? I can only see Mbappe as the real quality. No one close to him. I'm not a fan of Neymar. Well, Neymar's getting older as well. And it's funny, he was just on the screen there. I would agree. I think Mbappe is the natural successor to being the best player in the world. But he won't be anywhere near what Ronaldo and Messi were anyway. And there is no talent in the world that is on the Ronaldo or Messi level, or potentially on that level. There is nobody. And that is why you've got to enjoy Messi and Ronaldo while you can, because these two players arguably will go down as the 2 best players the world has ever seen. Not just over the last 20 years, but ever. So it stands to reason that we probably won't see a player like that for a few more years. Generational talents tend to come round, every sort of 10, 20 years. So, we had Maradona in the 80s. I don't really feel that there was anybody of Maradona's level for a long time. I think after Maradona, it's Messi and Ronaldo. There's been some very good players, and Zidane's the manager tonight, and he was a very good player, but he wasn't on the level of Maradona. So when the next Messi Ronaldo comes along, we might get lucky. They might be coming around in the next 5 to 10 years. We might not see one for 20. It'd be interesting to see. Lingard's a good shout, Man United fan. He's only 17. He could hit the heights. Hullet was pretty good, yeah. What about Fat Ronaldo? Yeah, Fat Ronaldo was good, but I wouldn't... Ronaldinho is a good as well, but I'm saying, they were amazing talents. I'm just saying Ronaldo, Messi and Maradona are all-time ever best players. They're in that conversation. They're in the top 5 best players ever. So, of course, there's been some cracking players. Here's Marcelo, Isco. Real Madrid are starting to dictate the play now, and this is the thing about what the previous commentator was saying about PSG not having a spine. They're now bottling it, aren't they? So they've totally and utterly started really well, and now they're getting passed all over the place. George Best definitely was a once in a life. Pele, I don't know about Pele. He's a bit of a stat padder, isn't he? He counts his goals as bloody, kick around in his back garden. Oh, I scored 10 today, and adds it onto his record. So yeah, I like Cliff Richard's Christmas songs. Best Christmas song. We've done that. Mark, we recruited Mourinho to ruin Spurs. He cost a lot, but it's worth it, says Zayn Miassi. You probably barely recruited him. You can afford it. City are winning, apparently, as well. And not that I give a shit about City, to be honest with you. But they're not winning. It's 0-0 with Shakhtar Donetsk. Around the grounds, Real Madrid winning, obviously. Bayern Munich are beating Red Star. Olympiacos are 2-0 up against Spurs. And Kroos, what a save by the keeper there. Edge of the box from Toni Kroos. What a shot it was. Keeper palmed it away. They're still on the attack. Marcelo and Real Madrid have got PSG pinned in here at the moment. And Toni Kroos is still a very good player, isn't it? Atalanta 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0, Man City 0, Shakhtar Donetsk 0, Juventus 0, Atletico Madrid 0. Which again is a game I was considering doing, but I think that they've both dominated that group in many ways. So there won't be any surprises there. No alarms and no surprises. I mean, interestingly, in the Barcelona-Dortmund group, if Barcelona were to beat Inter tomorrow, I think Inter drop into the Europa League. I guarantee United will get them. And my FIFA career mode, I got Inter first round, so I can see that happening. I can see it coming a bloody mile off. Did you seriously not include Fat Ronaldo and Pele in best of all time, says Luke Haynes? No, I didn't do I didn't say who was in the best of all time. I just said that Maradona, Ronaldo, Messi were. I haven't cut anybody off yet, and I've not put anybody in. Eriksen's getting ready in the Spurs game. Thomas Stedman. Well, yeah, it's interesting because I was playing some living room football today. I do like a tournament for 20 minutes in the afternoon. There's a whole fixture list. It starts early November, and it's a cup knockout tournament, and I'm in the quarterfinals. And I did Leicester against Spurs today, and Leicester went 2-0 ahead quite quickly. So I brought, I took off Dyer and put Eriksen on. Still lost, but it's amazing. You know, some people will be saying he's weird, but it's amazing how, if you grow up with living room football, how real it is, and how it's all in your head technically, but you still shoot as if you're Harry Kane and stuff like that. I've got loads of rules in my living room football. I've played living room football since I was born. No, not since I was born, but since I was a kid, and I've played in different living rooms, and no living room football is the same. There are different rules in different living rooms dependent on what your goal is and how it works. Would you like Eriksen at Manchester United? Says Zitzi. No. Dyer's off for Eriksen in the Spurs game, which is what I did this afternoon, Lily. There you go. Bet 2 goals for Spurs. Should have known better, says Bio20. Does every team that doesn't get through the group go to the Europa, or how does it work, mate? Says Mark Whitten. So if you finish 3rd in your Champions League group, you drop down into the Europa League. If you finish 4th, you go home. Simple. And people like Arsenal moan about that because they're used to being in the Europa League. But as a United fan, who's, we've been in the Europa League twice, we've won it once, I don't really care. I think it's embarrassing being in the Europa League, so you can't moan about teams dropping down from the Champions League. I mean, the Europa League is a ridiculously long tournament. You have a group stage, and then you have an extra knockout stage because of all these teams dropping down. So, does every team... I've done that one. I was thinking PSG will win this, but I have my doubts, says Xander Vicky. If they had a bloody backbone, they would win it. They're just a bit spineless. They started off the better team, and then Real Madrid go ahead, and they've bottled it. They've just gone really spineless again, which is... seems to be the problem for PSG. Although, they're on the attack here, Di Maria, and that will be a corner. Jesse Lingard, once in a generational talent, says James Murphy. Nathan Stewart says, can you explain living room football more? I'd need to do it on my phone. Like, everyone... People are saying what... Some people will know what it is, some people... It's basically playing football in your living room. Yeah, that's what you do. You don't play with other people. You do it on your own. Please explain living room football for a dumb Yankee, says Charlie Welch. Well, basically, if you've got a living room, I've got a little football. It's about that big, and there's a double-seated sofa in front of the window, and the room is about 10 meters long, and there's a coffee table in the middle. So basically, you'd find it really weird, but I really enjoy it. It's a good game, but. You just do shots and stuff like that. And if there's a rebound off, you can only score off rebounds if it's bouncing. If it bounces, you can get on a rebound. If it's on the ground, you can't do a rebound. You think you're not going to get it visually. You'd have to come round and have to show it. But Inderpreet says they do it as well. Would you rather have Inter or Spurs in round 32? Says Shazarin Solhi. Inter. I'd rather have Inter because Italian football's slower than the Premier League, so it's always an advantage. Cahill says that my parents would never let me play it. Yeah, you can only play when people aren't in. See, I'm a master at living room football because when I was growing up, my stepdad always used to be, well, he was a mechanic, so he'd always be out fixing cars on the drive, or he used to play a lot of football. And my mum likes horses, so she had horses, so she would be out a lot as well. So I used to get the living room to myself a lot. Super Pookie plays with a tennis ball in his living room. Exactly. 32 minutes gone. I'm thinking at half time of swapping to Spurs versus Olympiacos. Let me know what you think. Good shot there. Good save. Benzema was closing in on Keylor Navas against his former club as well. play Football Manager next week, says Vikram. I will do, Matt. I haven't even downloaded it yet. I am going to start playing it. I want to get my FIFA career mode done. And then I'll do Football Manager as well. I'm not definitely going to finish in my FIFA career mode. I just want to finish the season. If we qualify for Champions League, I will do Season 2. Spurs are losing 2-0, says To Hong Sun. He's obviously on a half an hour delay. I'd say 70% of people saying swap to Spurs game, whereas 30% are not. So what we'll do is we'll carry on till half time on this one, and we'll go. Living room football vlog, please, says Ben Brown. It'd probably get about 10 viewers. Nathan Parker says, can you give our podcast Against All Pods a shout out? Our Twitter is @allpods. There you go. Do Spurs game for the Jose banter and see how attacking he will go second half, says Humi. Yeah, that's what I mean. If it's 2-1 at half time, I'm not going to switch. If it's 2-0 at half time, I'll switch, because then I think he's got to go for it, hasn't he? Do you like Calpol, Mark, says Big Man? It's only for kids. Why would I have Calpol when I can have paracetamol or ibuprofen? Or hemorrhoid cream. It's just a child painkiller, isn't it? Chewy says Jose sacked by Christmas. I tell you what, though, a game that I thought was going to be very straightforward takes on a sinister turn here, because Olympiacos would level up with Spurs on 7 points, and Spurs' last game is against Bayern Munich in Munich, and Olympiacos are playing Red Star, which they will win. So Spurs will drop out of the Champions League and into the Europa League. They've got to get at least a draw today. My name comes from the Brazilian and Italian origins. Thank you for the compliments. Much appreciated, says the Marinho. I love it. I love that name. And here we go. This should be 1-1. Go. He hit it high. Mbappe, he was putting down the left. He hit it high. He should have gone low across the keeper because Icardi was there. And is Baby Yoda a clown, says Pitol 100. You're obviously watching The Mandalorian. I've really enjoyed The Mandalorian. I watched it again today. And they're very short episodes, aren't they? If you don't watch it with adverts. They're only about half an hour long. Keep the non-football questions coming in as well. Please do share the video by clicking the share button. And subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. Di Maria is put it out. That's got out. No, it's not gone out. 10 minutes to half time, and then we've got a decision to make. Do we go and watch the Spurs game, or do we stick here? And Alexio Phytides makes a great point. Jose sees his system isn't working and is making a 26th minute sub. Ollie would never. And I think you're absolutely spot on there. Absolutely spot on. What do you want for Christmas? I'm not getting you anything, but I'm just trying. You should be thinking about different conversations whilst we're watching the football as well. That's what That's Football is all about. David JS says, did you copy Icardi's haircut? No, he copies mine. I've had this haircut. I've got 5 years of proof. Go back 5 years, United stand. I've always had this haircut. Do you think Jose can come back from 2-0 like Ollie, says Jens1102? I do. I think he can, and I think he will. Favourite porn star, Mark? No comment, Manuel Ogba. What's porn? What? I know. I just said, what's porn? I don't know what bloody porn. What is porn? And Cross comes in. Ooh, he's looking for Isco there. Good things to watch on Netflix, Mark. Paul Davis. The Irishman. It's out tomorrow, I think. 27th, isn't it? The Irishman, Pacino, De Niro. Can't wait to watch that. I don't know when I'm going to watch it though. Might watch it tomorrow night. I might watch Valencia, Chelsea with you lot, and then get in a bit nice hot bath, and then watch The Irishman. But I think it's about 3.5 hours long. Where do you think Mbappe will go, Mohamed Salah? There's only 3 places he can go, isn't there? Because of how much he went for to PSG. Oh, Isco tries to get a shot off. Benzema. Oh, what a save by Navas. I think that was from Carvajal. He's made 2 good saves from distance, and that was a good hit again from the edge of the box. And Real Madrid ramping it up, trying to get that second goal. Dr. Awesome, no, I do read other comments on here as well. Yeah, so I think Mbappe would go Real Madrid, Barcelona, or PSG. I think they're the only 3 clubs that can really outlay that sort of money. And I don't actually... Well, actually, I say Man City. Man City have never spent over 80 million, have they? Nick P. Jose must be changing. He sacrificed his love child Dyer to bring on Eriksen. Mark put the Spurs game on. There's more comedy value. I will do when we get to the second half if it stays 2-0. You're doing a watch-along for Astana, says Sean Byrne. Yeah, United, we always do watch-alongs every game. And that's a decent dipping shot there that it's gone for from Casemiro. It's gone for a corner. Do I think Real Madrid can win the Champions League? I've completely put that question in my own head. Nobody's asked it. I do not think Real Madrid can win the Champions League. I just think that their front 3 isn't good enough. Where can I buy your shirts, Mark? Difficult. It's not actually that difficult. If you go to the United Stand video, 3rd from last, Marcello! Oh, keeper spilt it, but now they're on the break. Di Maria, he's got to get rid of that. He hasn't. And very, very good defensive play by Hazard there. They'll love him for that. Defensively got back on Di Maria. Good defensive work. Yeah, if you want to get this jumper, go to the United Stand video I did last night. Not the one I've done tonight, not the Flex and Rants. 3 videos ago, and the link's in the video description. Who do I think is going to win the Champions League? Opinion on croquettes, Padrick. Absolute. If you're talking about potato, absolutely brilliant. I love potato, and croquettes are very nice. And Chris Sparks says he ran 15k today. I wish you could have ran 5 for me and I didn't have to do it, but I got the benefits. I've started playing 5-a-side on a Monday night, and I feel it. I feel it. But penalty for Spurs apparently. No, it's not. It's not a penalty. Liverpool are going to win the Champions League, says Haroon. I think for me, the favourites for the Champions League are probably Liverpool and Manchester City. Maybe PSG, but I don't think so. Juventus, I just don't think Italian clubs can win the Champions League at the moment. They just seem a little bit off the pace. Bayern Munich looked amazing against Spurs, but then they're very, very inconsistent, and I think they struggle from the same thing that PSG do later in the season. When they've wrapped up their league, they become a little bit stale. Real Madrid or Barcelona? I don't think so. I mean, look, Barcelona to me are no better than last year, and they gave up a 3-0 lead at Anfield. So I just don't think that Real Madrid or Barcelona will win it. And I don't think that's a bad thing for football. I mean, every year you were saying it's going to be Real Madrid or Barcelona. So roast potatoes or mash? Roasties. It's got to be roasties. You can get a good mashed potato, but it's got to be seasoned to perfection. Di Maria, there's no way Icardi's getting that. Or did he? Has he given a penalty? I think he's going to go VAR on this. Di Maria. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. Icardi gets there first. Yeah, that'll be a pen. It's one of those where you leave your foot in. No, he's not even left his foot in. It's a penalty. Courtois, absolute mess there. For one, if he goes for it, he's got to get it. And for 2, he's bloody miles off. So it's a penalty, that. Penalty to PSG. And I think red card. There's a red card above Real Madrid. When did they get somebody sent off? Why is there a red thing above Real Madrid? I haven't seen anyone get sent off. And why would he get sent off anyway? This is it. Football never fails to amaze me. Like, how is that a red card? I thought you didn't get red cards now unless it's a direct goal scoring opportunity. I don't understand. There's a Real Madrid player back there, so why is it a red? Anyone in the live comments? Astro Amp says he was going to score. He wasn't going to score. There was a bloody defender right next to him. Oh my, he's not giving the red, he's not giving the penalty, and he's not giving the red card. I think there's a foul earlier in the play. So they've gone back to a foul, I think, on Marcelo by Idrissa Gueye. I mean, this for me is for me where VAR gets absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. So we're now in a situation whereby the referee misses a foul on the halfway line, which he's actually bloody looking at, and I just defies logic. Defies logic. Top 5 horror films, says Callie Spoon. Well, this is a horror show, to be honest with you. It defies logic. So there's a foul on the halfway line, which is a foul by Idrissa Gueye on Marcelo. But then the play carries on, and there is a penalty for PSG, and what was going to be a red card, which I don't understand why, because he isn't going to score. There's a defender back there. So they review it on VAR and say, well, yeah, it is a penalty and it is a red card, but there's actually a foul on the halfway line that you saw and you didn't give. It's just ridiculous. Like, you know, how far do you go back? How far do you go back for to check a penalty when you're looking at an incident that's got nothing to do with the bloody penalty? You know, how far do you go back, people? Like, let's say that foul on Marcelo was 10 seconds before the goal. Maybe it was 5, I don't know. Can we go back 20 seconds? And I think Marcelo takes a tumble anyway. So, I don't know. It's ridiculous. Tottenham have scored. Apparently it's 2-1. Shambolic says favour Antois, and it's like that's Liverpool versus City game again, says KT. Juventus have scored as well. Dybala's just scored a great free kick. I just don't like VAR. I think that the referee saw that on Marcelo, and if he doesn't give it, he doesn't give it. You can't go back looking for reasons not to give a penalty. The contentious issue there for me was that Bruno Fernandes has signed a new contract at Sporting Lisbon, by the way. I'm just checking that out. With a £100 million release clause. So I don't think he'll be going in January. Let's have a quick read of that. Bruno Fernandes put pen to paper on a new contract with Sporting. The club confirmed on Tuesday. He's been a revelation. He won't be moving in January then, will he? That's just basically what we say about that. He was never coming to United anyway. It's half-time in the PSG game, and it's 1-0 in the PSG game, and it's embarrassing with regards to the VAR yet again. I mean, it's not just in the Premier League, it's happening in Europe as well. Ridiculous decision-making there. I mean, Marcelo is technically fouled on the halfway line, but the incident that they're reviewing is the penalty. And then they go and find a foul that the referee clearly would have seen. The referee clearly saw what happened to Marcelo and let the game go. We go and review the penalty, and they come back and say, well, actually, it was a foul that you didn't give. So it's ridiculous. And as I said, how far do you go back? How far do you go back in assessing situations now? You're there to review the fucking penalty. You're not there to go back and find reasons not to give it from incidents that happened before. You know. VAR is a joke. Yep. It's 2-1. Spurs are losing at half-time. I've just spoken about Bruno Fernandes' new contract, so yeah, you know, you need to open your ears. Hi Mark, do you reckon Chelsea will win tomorrow? We're doing that tomorrow night. If you want to join me, 6 p.m. UK time, Chelsea versus Valencia. It's going to be a very interesting game. Chelsea, Ajax and Valencia all on 7 points with 2 games to go. Chelsea need to get a result tomorrow, otherwise they could be dropping down in the Europa League. Spurs could be dropping in the Europa League. We could have Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea and United in the Europa League, the way things are going at this moment in time. Time to change games, says Maddie. And well, we're at half time at the moment. And it will be no defence football soon, says Vandy Candy. Who scored, says Mr. Capel? It was a tap-in from Benzema after Isco hit the post. Do you remember when United bought Ronaldo and Tevez and played 4-2-4 formation with Rooney and Berbatov, says AK Jordan? No, I don't, because we didn't really play that formation, to be honest with you. We did it on occasion, but the reality is we didn't really play that often. It wasn't a 4-2-4. Chelsea versus Valencia. Come on, you Blues, says Ak Numa. And are you crazy? Liverpool Napoli, please, says Bob Paddock. Well, it's Chelsea Valencia at 6 o'clock. It's Liverpool versus Napoli at 8 o'clock. I think Emery will be sacked, J. David. Yes, I do think he will be sacked. And I think you'll probably end up with Allegri. I think you've had the French Wenger. I think you've now tried the Spanish Wenger. And I think you will now go for the Italian Wenger. There is no way Pochettino will go to Arsenal. What did VAR just review? If not a red, but definitely a penalty at the latest. VAR is pointless as the referees that were behind the goal, absolutely pointless, says Fiat Ute. I mean, look, I've got to say, if he'd given the penalty and Courtois had been sent off, why was he being sent off? The rules get so confusing now. Like, if that's a penalty, he knocks the ball past, Courtois fouls him, but there's a covering Real Madrid defender. He's not going to definitely score. So I'm confused by that one, to be absolutely honest with you. But it wasn't given anyway because of something stupid. They're just doing an advert for the Irishman at the moment. It's on Netflix tomorrow, I reckon. Mohammed says it was a foul on Marcelo, so why are you complaining? Because the referee didn't give the bloody foul. Like, the referee saw that and didn't give the foul, and VAR is meant to be reviewing the penalty. VAR should not go back and review something that happened before the penalty that the referee saw. The VAR should be there to review that incident. If you're going to go back and look at fouls before, like 5-10 seconds before the penalty that you want reviewing, why not go? What if that foul on Marcelo had happened a minute before? Well, should we go back to that? Well, it was a penalty, but 2 minutes before there was a foul in the corner of the opposite on another game, so don't give it. This is the stupidity of VAR. You've got millions, billions and billions of pounds involved in the Champions League, and you've got tits in UEFA running it. Like, you're there to review. We're not justice warriors. We're there to review whether that's a penalty. Is it a penalty? Is it not a penalty? We're not there to go back and check fucking fouls before the penalty. That's not what it's there for. And it's ruining the game because the referee saw that and let it go. It's an uncontentious foul on the middle of the pitch. It's irrelevant. The referee saw it, he played it on. We're talking about the penalty. That's what it should be all about. Unless it's Manchester, right, Mark, says Baked Koala. Well, no. Manchester United, no. You really don't understand me and many United fans. We're not like that. Those days are long gone where we're moaning about VAR and stuff. I mean, I thought it was a handball at the weekend, but I did say Sheffield United deserved something out of it. So, no, we're too crap to moan about VAR decisions. We've got no right to be moaning about them. Why won't you be watching I'm a Celebrity? Says Mr. I just don't like it. And Zane, Mark, did you see Ollie is scouting Barat's son when he goes to Kazakhstan? That's not your best joke, Zane, to be honest with you. Hashtag says, shut up, you talk too much. Amazing, mate. Have you only got... Well, you're on YouTube. You know what you need to do? Type in another channel and go and watch it. Like, if you're going to try and give me a little bit of banter, like... come up with something a little bit more intelligent than shut up, you talk too much. There is no other guest on this channel. It's me. So I suggest you type something else into your YouTube search bar and go. And I would say type something in like, why am I such a virgin? And then go and watch that video and it will be all about you. Mark, learn the rules. The decision was right, says Arcomania. No, I don't need to. No. What a stupid comment that is. Learn the rules. So... we're just going to abide by the rules in life now, are we? The rules are shit. This is what I'm saying. Every bloody crap decision that VAR makes in the Premier League, they point to the rules. The rules are shit. Football is for the fans, and the fans are being shortchanged by stupidity. This just creates chaos because bean counters are creating the bloody rules. VAR should be for the decision it is to do with, not for something that happened way before. And what makes me laugh about this VAR foul on Marcelo is the referee's looking right at it. He's looking right at it. Can't believe December games are on Prime, says James Murphy. Well, there's only one set of games. Referee is... what? Look at that. The referee's almost the closest person to the shove by Idrissa Gueye and Marcelo. And he says... play on, because he probably sees what we do, that Marcelo is a fucking diver. That's a joke. The referee's looking right at the foul on Marcelo and VAR takes it back to that. Wanker, knobhead, stupid, joke. VAR is not the problem, but the people running it, says Jaden Gannis. Well, you're right there. There is a possibility that VAR could work quite well, but Liverpool for the quadruple, says Pod Baddock. Absolutely no chance. You're not going to beat Villa with the kids, are you? And Kay Fitzgerald, you're absolutely spot on. The referee had seen the incident with Marcelo and let the play carry on. Therefore, VAR should not be going back to that. Idiots. Absolutely bloody idiots. Who will be sacked first? Emery, Pellegrini or Marco Silva? It will be Emery or Marco Silva for me, Lou385. Right, you've got a decision to make in the live comments. Do you want me to stick with the PSG Real Madrid game or do you want me to switch to the Spurs Olympiacos game? Spurs are losing 2-1 to Olympiacos. If they lose, they're probably going to end up in the Europa League because their last game is against Bayern Munich. So let me know what you want to do with regards to that. I'm happy to stay watching PSG Real Madrid or I'm happy to go and watch Spurs versus Olympiacos in the second half. So let me know. VAR is annoying and time consuming. It's poorly executed, says Jamie O'Neill. Wilma says, Mark, you say if it's little contact, you've got a right to go down. So why do you call Marcelo a diver? Because he literally jumps in the air like he's been shot in the back 20 times. And that's not the point. My point on that is probably was a foul on Marcelo. I'm not saying it's not. But the referee's looking right at it. and decides to play on. That's his choice to say it's not a foul. He played it on. He said it's not a foul. VAR is not asked to review that. VAR should be asked to review the penalty. VAR should not be going back to the future to look for things to say, well, you know, you said that wasn't a foul. We now think it is. Well, you fucking ref the game then. You do it all from your computer. I'm off home to have a cup of tea and a biscuit, you twats. That's what I'd do if I was the ref. But what I can't believe is the referee goes along with it. Right. Spurs, stay. Spurs, Spurs, Spurs. PSG, Spurs, Spurs, Spurs. Madrid, Spurs, PSG, Madrid, Spurs, Spurs, Spurs. Please, Spurs, Mark. It's looking like people want me to go and watch Spurs. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. Let me just have a quick check of how we're doing. We are currently on 104,600 subscribers. So please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and share the video. 27th of November's tomorrow. Don't know what that's to do with. And subscribe if you're new. We do watch-alongs here. We're going to do, tomorrow, we're going to do Chelsea versus Valencia, which is going to be a very interesting game at 6 o'clock. And the 8 o'clock game I've not decided on yet. Could be Liverpool versus... Napoli. Could be Dortmund versus Barcelona. I haven't made my mind up yet, but we will make our mind up, of course. So we're going to switch over to Spurs for the second half. Let me just go and do that, and we'll probably come back to PSG versus Real Madrid, dependent on how exciting the Spurs game is. They cannot. I think Spurs need to win. To be honest with you, I don't think it's even a case of. Oh, come on, I don't even know. I hope we're on the right channel now. I have to get up to go and change the channel, because if I change the channel from here, it doesn't pick the signal up. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. Spurs are already through, says Joe William. Yeah, you might want to go and check the fucking table, you knobhead. In the nicest possible way. If Olympiacos beat Spurs, they level up with them on points. And Spurs' last game's against Bayern, where they will lose. And Olympiacos are playing Red Star, which they will win. So Spurs will go down to the Europa League. Simples. Simples. Okay. Spurs draw and they get through, says Multi McKirk. I don't think they do. I think you find they don't, because if they still lose to Bayern Munich and Red Star win, they would be on the same amount of points. So I don't know whether they do it on head-to-heads or whether they do it on goal difference. I don't know. They probably changed the bloody rules for that again, haven't they? The twats. If Olympiacos win, they won't level, says Anna Rudd. Well, it's funny how I'm looking at the league table and Olympiacos are on 4 and Spurs are on 7. Last time I checked, you get 3 points for a win. So, Anna Rudd, can you tell me how 4 plus 3 isn't 7? Because I'm interested by that one. Oh, are they doing it as it stands? Well, why are we watching Tottenham versus Olympiacos then? That's the BBC's fault and their stupid as it stands table. To be fair, it says as it stands up above it. So apologies to everybody there. I thought it was the table based on 4 games. So effectively, Olympiacos would have to beat Spurs and Red Star Belgrade, and Bayern Munich would have to beat Spurs. But then even then, nah, this is fuck this. Let's go back. Let's go back to the other game. I'm not watching this. It's a waste of time. Waste of time. Let's go back to the other game. There's no point watching a game where they're already going to be through. I agree. Let's get back onto PSG versus Real Madrid. Fast. Better players, better game. I blame the BBC and my inability to read and comprehend the word as it stands. So we'll go to a game that actually we wanted to do in the first place. Get it on, let's get it on, let's get it on, get it on, get it on. Man City are not winning yet, which is quite surprising. Here we go, Neymar's on. Anyway, well there we go. We've definitely made the right choice now because Neymar's on. Bada bing, bada boom. Now you're happy. Now we're happy. We've made the right choice, people. Neymar's on. It's the better game. And I don't think they've kicked off for the second half yet. Which is odd. Bit of a late... Yeah, they haven't kicked off yet. They're all moaning about the penalty. So... Timer's fine. Come on, ref. Get on with it. He's waiting for a ball. So Neymar looks like he's come on for Di Maria, I think. He looks like... Oh, we've had £100 contribution here from somebody that we've never had on the channel before. And it's C.R. Sullivan who says... Well, thank you for your generous contribution. And he says, thoughts on Fabian Ruiz from Napoli would be a good signing for United, in my opinion. I am 19 today. Can I get a shout out? Well, you can do. And I hope you're not spending your birthday money. But Real Madrid have just had a really good chance there with Benzema. Let me just talk you through this. Real Madrid on the attack. Cross from Marcelo and Benzema. Well, he should score. It's another great save by Navas, but he's... he's in the 6-yard box. I think he's got to finish that, although it's a great save with the feet. Thoughts on Fabian Ruiz of Napoli? Interestingly enough, apparently Real Madrid have been looking at him and Eriksen as a midfield option, but Zidane is adamant that he's going to get Pogba. So if Real Madrid are looking at him, it just shows you the sort of quality a player is. Lovely run by Neymar here, and a terrible bit of control from Meunier. He would massively improve Manchester United. Massively improve United. And that's what I would like to see happening. Ben Riley says, stop flip-flopping between channels. No. I'm done now. I'm going to be sticking on this one. Don't worry. I've bantered myself with the as it stands table. Don't worry. This happens all the time. As it stands is probably very good for the Ute. But for us older folk, the as it stands table can cause you more problems than... having a dump and finding you didn't check there's any toilet paper. It really is. It does. The as it stands table really does cause me many problems. It makes it more confusing. Spicy Plum says, Mark, you're behind. I'm not behind. Watching it on BT Sports, where I am, there's probably a delay on YouTube, which there normally is. Vic, I love these. When I was in the police working nights, I used to always have one of these in my pocket. And really, it's for when you go to like dead bodies and that, because you have a sniff of Vic and that's all you can smell. And dead bodies are a horrible smell. But actually, I used to use it at nights just to keep me awake. It was my sort of cocaine, really. But legal. Vic. Gives you a head rush. 2-2 Spurs. We did well to switch it off. Jose in. I don't think this game's going to finish 1-0 anyway. Do you? Do you? How about Barcelona versus Dortmund? Watch along tomorrow, says Shamel. How about it? How about it? Bates Koala, that's how you manage. You're 2-0 down, you make a sub after 23 minutes and you get back in. It's Barry. Was it Harry Kane who scored? Oh, it's Harry Bain. Harry Bain. There's a Donny on it. Real Madrid have got an overload here, and I think Cruz will get the shot off if they're not careful, and he's messed it up. He's messed that up. I heard Barry. It was Harry Bain who scored it, Batman, and you go fuck yourself. Mark worked for Scotland Yard. No, I didn't. And it's the Mourinho effect, boys, says Patrick Alaketh. And do you think Ollie will be sacked if we lose to Aston Villa, says Hayden Official 786? I don't know. I don't actually know. All I know is, for a fact, Manchester United do not want to sack him, and they are like, with Mourinho and Van Gaal and Moyes, plans were in place. You know, they were in place when they were doing as bad as Ollie is. But with United, they're like, adamantly they don't want to sack him, but it might get to a point where they have to. Gunjit says, can you do the Harry Kane impression again? I'll do it in a bit. And it's Harry Bain, not Harry Kane. Shepherd's pie or cottage pie? Are they not the same thing, Yusuf Ahmed? Or shepherd's pie is lamb, isn't it? I do like a good shepherd's pie. I haven't had shepherd's pie for ages. I had lasagna today. Lovely. I love lasagna. Sean Finity says, with the beard, Neymar looks like Ragnar Lothbrok. Is that Vikings? Yeah, this game's proper now. We've got Neymar on the pitch, Mbappe on the pitch. They're 1-0 down. He's only 17 years old. Barry Bain. Barry Bannon. Who remembers Barry Bannon? Here's Hazard. He's gonna get a shot off. No, he's not. I'd like to see Bale come on now. Does he get? He'd probably get booed though, won't you? I've seen that Bruno Fernandes has renewed his contract. Good cuss back, Iscaro. I'm sounding Spanish there myself. Marcelo. Cross comes in. Gone. Is your wife a good cook, Mark? I tell you what, you were one letter away from a very interesting question that would have got you blocked. Would I take Kane to United as perfect Wubby? Yes. Oh, yes. Of course I would. Of course I would. When are you going to start Football Manager 20, says Owen Newell. Probably will be next week. I've just got to decide whether to start off as United or start off as a non-league club. I think there's a lot more reward in starting off as a non-league club. I just much prefer manager games when you do that, but there's probably going to be more interest if I start off as United, so I'm trying to think about that. Offside here. There was a bit of a penalty shout, but I think he's gone and found a foul in the first half, so he doesn't have to give it. It was offside. Offside, yeah. Which Arsenal player would you take at United, says Bobby? Oh, Aubameyang. Aubameyang, yeah. Why is your game like 5 minutes behind, says Jason Bourne? I don't know. I'm watching it on BT Sports. I don't know. I got no idea. I'm going to try and see if there's anything I can do when I'm live to change anything. I don't think there is. I'll take a quiet life and handshake Some carbon monoxide with no alarms and no surprises. Real Madrid on the attack here with Hazard. To me, it's end to end, and it looks like there's a goal coming. Right. I don't think there's anything I can do when I'm live. Am I worried about Villa on Sunday, says Your Way 637. No, I'm not. I'm not. I just expect Manchester United to win. And I know that's probably silly, but I do. I do expect them to win. And it is silly. I agree, but there we go. A Casemiro foul there. Oh, piss off. Piss off. Anyway, is PSG on the attack? Neymar's still on, so I don't know who they took off for Neymar. They've still got Di Maria, Mbappe, and Icardi on, unless Icardi came off. I tell you what, instead of just predicting things, why don't you go and have a look, you lazy shit? Lineups. He took off Idrissa Gueye. He took off Idrissa Gueye for Neymar. I never would have thought that. I never would have thought that. It's 2-2 in the Spurs game for Olympiacos. It's true choice. Ali and his Cade who scored his goals. That is it. A longer shot there from Meunier, and it goes wide. So I like Verratti. He's a good player, but he will not come to United because his agent is Fatima Minoriola, and he won't sell to United because United won't sell Pogba. So, but I like Verratti. He also a bit small for Premier League. Come on, we need to go. We need to go. Are you from Texas? Says Eddie Martin. No. No. No, Rocco, I agree. Idrissa Gueye wasn't playing well, but it's just surprising to take off what is effectively a centre defensive midfielder for an attacker. But it's made it more end to end, and I suppose PSG can afford it to be end to end because they've got 12 points and Real Madrid have got 7. So PSG should be finishing top of this group even if they lose. Delvin says, Mark, were you a chubby child? No. No, I've always been quite slim. I say quite. I wouldn't say I'm slim now, but I've always been this sort of build. Irish whiskey or English whiskey, says Michael Foley. I'd probably have to go with the Irish and the Jamesons. Yeah. Yeah. Benzema. Hazard. Cross comes in from... Oh, look at that. Marcello again doing his little Tom Daly stuff. Would I take Mane or Salah for United, says Ryan H. Well, I've always liked Salah, but Mane's the better player at the moment. But I probably would take Salah because he plays off the right, and that's what United need. But most Liverpool fans would say that Mane's better at the moment, and he is. But on their day, they're both very similar. What a ball that is, but Mbappe ain't got the legs. Well, he has, but he ain't going to get after that one. Neymar trying to play him. J. David, will you be Ollie out again if we lose to Aston Villa? I've never said the words Ollie out, so, you know. I do like gin, Mark Down. I do like gin I like gin in the summer. Although, I was in John Lewis today, buying myself yet another jumper, and I saw that they had these baubles full of gin. that you can buy in a pack. And they are all different flavoured gins. And Clementine gin, I thought that's festive, that sounds good. But this is where they ruined it. They had a Brussels sprouts flavoured gin. And I was like, who's going to eat that? And a good shot from Cruz there, just goes wide. Nizum says, what do you think about putting Ollie as director of football and Pochettino as manager? No, I'm going to absolutely bury this one, and I've said it a few times, so for those who've heard it, I'm sorry. Why is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a director of football? He's managed Molde and Cardiff. He clearly doesn't have much understanding of European football unless they're Norwegian or play in the Premier League. So why would you give him the director of football job? We've got to stop doing this. We haven't even got a director of football, but if we were to appoint a director of football, you need competence. Like, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not a director of football. And anybody who says, well, he's bought well so far, United admitted themselves in September that they've been looking for a right-back for over a year. So, Ollie wasn't even here a year ago. So, and even if he was, Wan-Bissaka, oh, you've got £50 million, Ollie. What do you want to spend it on a right-back? I'll have Wan-Bissaka, please. Even my gran would know that, and she's dead. So, that's obvious. Harry Maguire. Oh, we've got £80 million for a centre-back. Who do you want? Well, Harry Maguire's obvious. Yeah. And Ryan Giggs says this Dan James might be really good, but he's only 15 million, so we may as well give it a try. Yes, please. So there's not really any skill to what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done in his recruitment. So I don't think he's done anything to deserve director of football. If in 2 years he has 3 more good transfer windows and buys players that I think, oh, that's took a bit of thinking, I might say then he can be a director of football. But no, he's either Man United manager or he's back in Molde, isn't he? That's the way I see it. Say hello to Scully, X-Files. Hi Mark, it's my birthday tomorrow. Give me a shout out. Thomas Hodgkinson, you're missing the one word, please. And I would have done it. Happy birthday, Thomas. Seriously, I'm only winding you up. How do you feel about Gary Neville replying to Ricky, says Stockmaster22? I don't know. He never replies to me because he's probably scared, I suppose. But I'm not bothered. Look at my face, I'm not bothered. But yeah, I think when these big accounts reply, they tend to look at who they're replying to because they don't want it to backfire big time. So it's easy to reply to a smaller account when you're massive, isn't it? It's 3-2. It's 3-2 apparently for Spurs, and it could be 2-0 here. And it's gone wide. It's gone wide. Gaming with Emmanuel. Ever thought about going bold? Not optionally, but I have thought about, will I go bold? Because my dad's bold, his brother's bold, his dad's bold. So I always thought it was coming. Real Madrid are on top at the moment, and I think PSG are suffering from not having Idrissa Gueye. Because Real Madrid are getting a lot of opportunities. Marcelo straight at Navas. Ijon says we should buy Ander Herrera from PSG. He's a good player and mobile. He doesn't play much for them. It's not 3-2 to Spurs, it's 2-2. Half an hour to go. What would you want for Christmas, Mark, says Avico? Well, I asked that question before and we didn't really get much replies. What do all you lot think you're getting for Christmas? Not what you want, because somebody will say, I want to wake up in the morning with Margot Robbie naked next to me, bathing, wrapped up. Well, how can she be naked and wrapped up? Naked underneath the wrapping. You're not going to get that. Some of you might want Elton John naked next to you, whatever rocks your boat. But what you're really going to get, what do you really think you're going to get that you're happy with? For me, what I would like is, I I don't know. I've asked for surprises this year. I mean, what do you get? The man who's got everything. I'm joking. I think when I was a bit younger, and I'm not talking like a kid. When I was in like my 20s, I used to have a list. Every year I'd start doing a list. I want this DVD, I want that game, I want this pair of trainers. And if I didn't get it all, I'd be really pissed off. Spoilt, I suppose. Whereas now, in my 30s, I tend to say, I'm not giving a list. I'm not telling you anything. Just get me surprises. Because being as a kid at Christmas, that was the whole joy of it, wasn't it? Was all the sort of surprises and stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm quite happy about it. But for me, I just like Christmas because I love the Christmas dinner. It's my favourite dinner. Hazard's down injured here, and I didn't look. It was a foul, but it didn't look that bad at first. But it clearly has him down hurt. I think he's going to get up though. Get Bale on. Get Gareth Bale on. Gareth Bale on. Get Gareth Bale on now. Good evening, says Ijon. James Dean or River Phoenix, says MUFC Matt. That's a weird one. I've seen that twice now. I don't know anything about James Dean. He was way before my time, and I've not really ever watched any of his films. River Phoenix, I remember him at the start of Last Crusade. Did quite well. Do I think Bayern can reach the final, says Delvin? No. I don't think PSG or Bayern will get to the final because I think they suffer at the end of the season because they've basically won their own league. It's not competitive, so they come into the Champions League a little bit cold, whereas everyone else plays in competitive leagues, so they keep that momentum going. Anarud wants Arsenal to sack Emery as his Christmas gift. Hazard bleeds gravy. I like that. It's not true, but, you know. Will Manchester United win the Europa League, says Yusuf. Mbappe and Courtois does get there that time. Could have been another penalty shout, but he did get his hands there. Will United win the Europa League? I know it's so easy to say no, but we're in it. And you didn't see me on Fake's Taxi, Tansin. But we're in it, and we have a chance. And I do think that there's a good chance that the Europa League and the Champions League will be won by English clubs. Well, the only two English clubs in the Europa League at the moment are United and Arsenal. And yet Spurs are not going to be in the Europa League because they're going to be still in the Champions League. And Chelsea will find out tomorrow. So I think an English club will win the Europa League, so it's either Arsenal or United. So there you go. I don't think Madrid would beat Man City, no, if they played each other. I think the Spanish clubs are on a bit of a decline, aren't they, at the moment? Oh yes, Wolves are still in the Europa League. Yeah, Arsenal or United have got the best chance. Wolves won't win the Europa League, but they might go deep. They're good enough. What a run by Mbappe, and then a crap pass. Although I thought there was a FIFA foul on Mbappe there. He's played the pass and then he's been fouled afterwards. I don't understand why the game FIFA has this thing. And if you've ever played FIFA on a computer, you will. Oh, Hazard is off. He's off. He ain't coming back. He's proper hurt. So will they bring Bale on? But I've never understood this with the game of FIFA. I call it a FIFA penalty. So you know, like sometimes if you're the defender and the opposition, they get their shot away and it goes wide, but you slide in. You slide in to block it. And after the ball's gone and they've had their shot, you catch them. And on FIFA, they always give the penalty for it. They'll always go, well, yeah, the shot didn't go in, so you can have the penalty. In real life, it's never a penalty. If you get your shot off or you get your pass off, and they never go back and give it. Bale's coming on. Gareth Bale.
Oh, Gareth Bale. You're from Wales? Like Batman. Like Christian Bale. Hey, see what's going on here, Gareth Bale.
Do you think Wales have a chance of winning the Euros, says Joel Morris? I wouldn't have thought so, but you never know. Jaden Harry says if it's Arsenal versus United and Emery versus Ollie in the Europa League final, who wins? I'll guarantee you now, if United and Arsenal get to the Europa League final, it won't be Ollie and Emery as manager. It'll be Ollie and somebody else. Give me a shout out, blood, for my birthday, says Thomas Hodgkinson. There's your shout out, Thomas. Happy birthday. And Joel Morris says, do you think Wales have... Yeah, I've read that one. Bale was good, but now he's shit, says Daniel M. 270. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Everybody's welcome on here. We're doing watch-alongs. We've got Chelsea versus Valencia at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. FIFA career mode on here. Normal football shows. Football Manager's going to start up on here as well. But everybody is welcome. Link bottom right hand corner. And if you have already subscribed, please share the video by clicking share underneath and share it on Facebook and Twitter. 20 minutes to go in this one. I didn't actually think it would be finishing 1-0. I really didn't. Yeah, we're closing in on 105,000 subscribers. We're only about 350 off it. So please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We might be able to hit that tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow night now. But please do subscribe. Alvin Blocks is in the house. Haven't seen him tonight. Welcome, Alvin. Mark Down says, go back to school and do your A-levels or play FIFA for 40 hours a day. I'd go to school, mate. I think FIFA would kill you. Alvin Block says, tune into Spurs. Why? It's an irrelevant game. 2-2 and they've already qualified. So, irrelevant. And apparently it's 3-2 to Spurs now. It is 3-2. Sally Devil Red 7, the moderator, who is highly reliable, says it is 3-2 to Spurs. So they've come back from 2-0 down, and it's Aurier who scored it. Owain says he felt an earthquake this morning here in Jamaica. Yeah, I read about that. I hope everything's all right over there. Shimal says, will Barcelona get Neymar in January from PSG? I would never really expect a massive deal to happen in January. Is Mbappe. Oh, he's done him there. The pace into the box. Cross. No one on the end of it. Premier League Daily. Mark, can you do some kids' Christmas merchandise for the United Stand? There is. It's all available in kids' sizes. The jumpers, the shirts, the t-shirts, the tracksuits, everything. Links in the video description of the United Stand videos. Spurs are winning 3-2, says Joel Morris. A little bit late, but thank you. Will Chelsea qualify for the Champions League, says Chewy. Find out tomorrow night. That's our watch-along. 6 p.m. UK time. Chelsea in Valencia. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Lovely cross. And it's cleared by Mounier. I'm looking forward to that game tomorrow night. I've been impressed with Chelsea this year. But I think they're in a very tough group. I think Valencia, Ajax, they all want to play football. And don't forget Lille, they want to play football as well. Although Lille have lost a lot, haven't they? Pepe, they've lost their assistant coach to Spurs. Marcello, good cross. And it's out for a corner from Thiago. What did I have for dinner, Shafi? Lasagna! The king of dinners. Lasagna and garlic bread. Can't beat it. Can he beat it, man? Yeah, can he beat it, man? Jose, I think, is winning. This is David GS. Cross comes in. Cleared. I still think there's going to be another goal in this. Here's Neymar. Looking to dive as soon as he can. No, he stays on his feet. Fair play. He could have gone down then. How many teams will raid Napoli this transfer window, says Shiram Gosh. Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on with Napoli. I really should have a little note to self about that. Because, and I've heard about Koulibaly. I mean, United won't get Koulibaly. I mean, this is just typical of United. The timing is just typical United. Whenever we want a manager, there's never anyone available. When we've got one, there's loads. You know, Koulibaly we wanted in the summer, but we couldn't get him. And then now, 6 months later, he looks like he's available on the cheap. But we won't get him because we've got Harry Maguire. So I can see Koulibaly going to Man City. And he's better than... So there again, you know... give us time. We're going to be back in 1989. But like, how are we going to get back when Man City are already miles better than us, and then we buy Maguire and they buy Koulibaly, who's better than Maguire? So how are we closing this gap? 4-2.
It's Harry Kane. It's Harry Bale. I've got 2 goals. Harry Bale. Piss off, Gareth Bale, brother of Christian Bale, the Batman I beat the shit out of. It's Harry Bale. I've got a hat-trick, Jelly.
So it's 4-2 and it's Harry Kane. What a comeback by Jose. What a comeback by Spurs. So we got about 15 minutes left in this game. It's still 1-0 to Real Madrid. I did expect there to be a few more goals, if I'm honest with you, but there hasn't been. But very good comeback from Spurs, who, you know, to be honest, Spurs should have been beating Olympiacos about 4-0, but football's football, isn't it? That's football. That's the name of this channel as well. And 2-0 down to come back. It's a dangerous score, 2-0. Just ask Sheffield United. Jesse MUFC says, I'm scared we'll lose to Tottenham now. No, I mean, he's had to change the way he wants to play. He had to take Eric Dyer off, didn't he? I mean, let's analyse that a little bit more, actually, from the Spurs game. So, from his starting lineup, he took Dyer off for Eriksen after half an hour, and he took Lucas Moura off for Sissoko after 61 minutes. So, you know, the team that's ended is not really his plan A, is it? But you've got to have plan A, B, and C, and sometimes D. You've gotta. And Shakhtar Donetsk are doing quite well against Man City, considering it's 1-1 at the Etihad. I bet there's about 10 people watching that. But again, they picked a strong team. De Bruyne's on there, Rodri, Gundogan, Bernardo, Gabriel, Sterling. I don't think there's going to be any shocks in the Champions League, though. Let's have a look. Group A, PSG and Real Madrid will go through. Group B, Bayern and Tottenham. Group C, Man City and... Well, the battle for second's quite close, actually, with Shakhtar, Dynamo and Atalanta. But who cares? Juventus and Atletico Madrid looking like they're going to go through. Although Atletico Madrid... are potentially putting themselves in a do-or-die game against Leverkusen. Liverpool and Napoli, yeah, they'll go through. Barcelona, Dortmund, Inter was always the group of death, really. One of them will drop. RB Leipzig and Lyon, looks like it's going to be those two. And then Group H, exciting. Chelsea, Valencia and Ajax, all on 7 points, with Chelsea playing Valencia tomorrow. Chelsea lose that and Ajax beat Lille, it makes it very interesting. Because Valencia and Ajax could just play out a draw in the last game and it wouldn't matter what Chelsea do. So Chelsea need a result in Spain. They really do. Somebody just said there that Spurs had 2 million views of their training video. And that just shows you, doesn't it? Like, nobody would be interested in Spurs. It's Mourinho. Shimal says, I'm so glad we didn't get a Cardi. I like a Cardi. But here's Modric. Tesco or Asda, says Zachary. Tesco for me. I do like Asda, but I'd stick with Tesco. Benzema, 2-0. Lovely cross from the left by Marcelo. And Benzema, against the French team, scores his second goal. He doesn't get loads of goals, but it's 2-0. It's a lovely cross. It's a lovely header. And it's job done for Real Madrid. They'll feel happy tonight. Not because they're going to get top of the group, but because they've proved a point against PSG that they can win against teams that are good. And PSG are a good team, but tonight it's not your night, PSG. Tonight is the night of Real Madrid and Karim Benzema. It's 2-0, and that's good night to PSG. Lovely little play by Modric. Puts it out wide. Marcelo's on it. Is there an offside bit there? Well, I'd have to watch that back, but I don't think it will be given offside. But they'd certainly, in the Premier League, they'd probably call that offside, but I don't think they will here. His arm was probably off, but I think your arm's allowed to be off. Is that right? Your arm can be offside, but they're not even reviewing it anyway. They can't be arsed. It's been given. What's your favourite packet of crisps? Says Gallagher Bros. My personal favourite is Quavers. Oh, it's 2-1! Defensive error at the back. And instant mash. Instant Mbappe. Cross comes in. Cortez makes a right meal of it. And Mbappe ends up with a simple tap-in. Meunier puts the cross in. It deflects. Varane doesn't go for it. Courtois doesn't get it. And Mbappe with a simple tap-in. There's nothing good about it, but it's totally legal. Varane actually does get his foot on it, but it goes off Courtois and towards Mbappe. So it's 2-1. And what looked like being a comfortable evening for Real Madrid in this last 10 minutes has now opened up into a game that is not so comfortable, so to speak. So we've got to change the score again. It's fast moving. 10 minutes to go. Can PSG end up getting a draw out of this? Isco's coming off. Bale's been rather invisible. Clear issues. And Rodrigo's coming on. Varane acting stupid, says the next Messi. Courtois is a shocking goalkeeper. Mark, look back at the beginning. I called 2-1. What's your favourite beer? Says Cody Ricardo. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really a beer snob. I'll have you know, I've been drinking Guinness lately as well, which isn't beer, is it? But nice ball over the top there. But Courtois has got it this time. What a game, says David Bakula. Yes, please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. We're doing Chelsea versus Valencia tomorrow night. Watch along at 6 o'clock. So join us for that one. Very interesting game that. Really looking forward to it. It's not 2-2. It's 2-1. Ignore the knobheads in the live comments. And Real Madrid and PSG, we have no chance of winning the Champions League, for the fences are terrible. I predict Liverpool will retain it. It is 2-2 now. It is 2-2 now. It is 2-2 now. And Real Madrid, they'll be booing. They'll be looking for somebody to blame here. I can't believe how quickly they've turned this around. I don't even know if PSG deserve it, but Real Madrid from 2-0 down 3 or 4 minutes ago, a 2-2. Cross comes in, Mbappe steps over it, and I don't even know who scores it. I think it's Thomas Meunier. Or is it Sarabia? I think it's Sarabia. Yeah, it is. Lovely finish. Left-footed, top corner, 2-2. Pablo Sarabia, yeah. 2-2. I've had to change the score 3 times in 5 minutes. Bloody hell. It's just not good enough. Well, it's not good enough from Real Madrid. It's now 2-2, and we've definitely had a good end to this game. It's been all over the place, and PSG will now be thinking, can we go and win it? And Real Madrid will be like, all that positivity is just sapped away from us, and it's a prime example of taking your feet off the pedal and letting it. You know, as Terry Wogan used to say, the great Terry Wogan, they've taken their feet off the pedal, Mark. They really have, and it's 2-2. Favourite packet of crisps? I like those spicy tomato snaps, but I think I'm a bit too old for those now. So I would say I quite like these I like Pringles. Sour cream Pringles are nice. Prawn cocktail Pringles, barbecue Pringles. But I do like the posh crisps, you know, like the Tesco Finest, those sort of things. But PSG are playing fantastic now, and they're just excited. They're excited and they want to win. They've got a backbone back. But Real Madrid, here's Bale, hardly been in the game. And tackled. Good shot. What a miss. What a shot. Shit shot by Rodrigo. Benzema is furious. He's an idiot, that Rodrigo. Where's he from? I've never really heard of him. Good shot. Palmed out. Comes to Rodrigo. He's got a cross to Benzema. And he does neither. It's almost a shot cross. It's a schross. And it's rubbish. Rubbish. When I started watching the channel in Mourinho's first year, you did not rate Lingard and said he's not good enough for the bench. Well, I was right. I do get some things right. Apparently Leeds are winning. We've not checked the champions, the championship scores. There are other games going on tonight, and in my excitement, I've not checked the Solihull score. Yes, get in. Solihull Moors, Stockport 1, Solihull Moors 4. My local team. And I don't support... Oh, I thought he'd scored, Varane. Free header, just wide. I've only lived in Solihull for 3 years, so they're not the team. Supporting local team, etc. makes sense in that context. But they're doing good. And good win from them away from home against Stockport. In the Championship, Cardiff have beaten Stoke, Fulham have beaten Derby 3-0, Huddersfield have drawn with Swansea, Luton have beaten Charlton 2-1. I didn't even know Luton were in the Championship. Last time I heard they were in the National League. Millwall 2, Wigan 2, and Leeds are beating Reading 1-0 with 2 minutes to go. Whoever's saying Ollie sacked in the morning, you're a twat. Clearly, it's not going to happen. He's on a plane to bloody Kazakhstan with a bunch full of kids. He ain't going to get sacked, is he? I don't play FPL anymore, Sabisi. No, I don't have the time. I used to quite enjoy it, but I don't have the time. Would you take Nuno? Sorry, no, not really. So we've got a couple of minutes left, and Real Madrid are now the team on the attack. I think PSG will be very happy with that comeback. Gareth Bale's... Oh, good cross. Navas gets on the end of it. PSG on the attack. Varane, little bit of a mistake, but it's fine. They'll get rid of that. PSG have won it again, high up the pitch. Can we get a late winner here? Thanks. Oh, if anybody's believing the virgins in the live comments, by the way, Emery has not been sacked. What I would say about the live comments is that 80% of it's brilliant, 20% of it is just sad little virgins who put fake scores and people have been sacked in there. And trust me, what I would do whenever I watch things like the kickoff and stuff is I don't take my facts from the live comments, because you've got to be a bit of an idiot to do that. Just wait for real things that go on. DSTS, I'm blocking you off the channel. Sorry, mate, but if you're going to put stupid thing about Sky Sports saying it when they haven't, you just get blocked. Make a new account up and learn from your lesson. Can we bring Smalling back from loan in January? I think he's better than Victor, says John T. Clare. I think Smalling will be gone. I think he will go to Real Madrid. Roma. But Real Madrid here. Benzema straight at the keeper. Straight at the keeper. Spurs are on their way to the round of 16, so they won't be dropping into the Europa League, which is probably a good thing for Arsenal, who I would say are probably the favourites for the Europa League at the moment, which sounds ridiculous, but there we go. Ooh, side netting from Mbappe. And all again, very similar to Rodrigo at the other end. If he'd cut it back across, both Neymar and the other player are there with a tap in, but he couldn't do it. 4 minutes added on. We've played 2. Thanks for the nice trim comments. I have it shaved the boundary. The cross. Oh, Benzema again, nearly getting on the end of it. The party is what I meant to say. Bing 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 bing. I'm looking forward to my bath, says Ollie Record. It's a little bit late to have a bath tonight, I think. Might just have a quick shower, peppermint tea, and a bit of Netflix. I've got to start working through my Christmas stuff. New Gavin and Stacey this year. I like Gavin and Stacey as well. Bayern have beaten Red Star 6-0, says Brew. Who do I think is going to win the Euros? I don't know, but there's a free kick here It's dead central. It's about 5 metres, 7 metres off the 7 metres, I would say, off the edge of the box. Central. Bale's behind it. Kroos is behind it. It's potentially one of the last kicks of the game. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and join us again tomorrow night for our second Champions League watch along, which is Chelsea versus Valencia in Valencia. I have this habit of putting the team that's away first. 25 metres to goal. Mark, which manager would you take out of the top 6 as Red Devil? I'd never do it in real life, but the best manager for United would be Klopp. You need a personality. Gareth Bale. Oh, he's hit the bloody post. What a hit. And that just pretty much sums up Gareth Bale at Real Madrid. Actually, he's done some good things at Real Madrid, but that free kick would have sat down his haters. It had Navas beaten all ends up. It was an absolutely superb free kick. But it wasn't so superb that it went in. It hit the post. And he's blown up. He's blown up. Bale smiles. Watching it back, it's a lovely hit. It's a lovely technique. Oh, it was superb. It's got curl on it as well. Lovely free kick from Gareth Bale. But it's not enough. It hits the post. He's been a bit of a ghost. And he's hit the post. But it's a night for
Harry Bale. I scored 2 goals. Gareth Bale hit the post. 2-0 to Harry Bale.
So it's 2-0. It's 4-2 to Spurs from being 2-0 down. And for Real Madrid, 2-0 up to 2-2. It finishes 2-2. Real Madrid will go through. PSG will top the group. That was probably going to be the case anyway. But good game. Enjoyed it, and this was just the starter. Tomorrow night is the main course. Valencia versus Chelsea, 6 o'clock UK time. Join us for that. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Hope you've enjoyed it. Everybody's welcome on here. Doesn't matter who you support. I'll see you on that tomorrow night. If you want to check out my video on the United stand, you might not have seen that. Check it out now. It's only 20 minutes long. The FC Astana preview, but starting off talking about Pogba. Has he played his last game for Manchester United? I've got a theory. Check it out on United stand. Speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.